Welcome into Storming the Field. We're bringing the grit to the football forecast. This is week 1 of the NFL season. I am Jack for this, and I'm also Steve Ben.
And I'm Ian Oliver. Hey, week after week, we'll be on the sidelines giving you all the weather insights that you need into the season's hottest games, all the good stuff, Steve, with Fox Weather's exclusive risk of weather impact, or, as we know it, the ROWI.
ROWI. You're going to hear us talk about it a lot this season. It's got a big impact. That's kind of the nuance to this, is how the weather is going to impact the games, the players, your fantasy, potentially your pocketbook. That's what we're going to be getting into. And it's more than just saying, hey, Ian, it's going to rain at this potential stadium. It's diving into how that may...
The weeds.
The weeds of it, right?
Yeah.
And we even saw that at the beginning of the season. Last night, it postponed the game, right?
In the weeds, there's value to be extracted. Mm-hmm. And, weather and sports are like this. But to your point, Steve, it would have been awesome to go maybe more than 0 games without a direct weather impact in the NFL. I think there's a lot of sleepy people at work on Friday because of the late start and, the ring ceremony for the Chiefs.
Here's the good news. Week 1's looking good for a lot of teams, but there are some spicy spots, especially in a spot where you and I lived a lot, Florida, so we're going to get into those games. But normally in the podcast, you kind of ease in. Forget that. We're overkicking our coverage. We're going in hard this week with our guest. We got a hell of a guest. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's also a Super Bowl champion, NFL running back. He was a Wisconsin Badger, but not only that, he's royalty in Wisconsin. Yeah, there's a lot to
you
this
could say we're hitting the ground running here with an All-American, a Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion. You said 70 NFL touchdowns. Ooh. It's Melvin Gordon III. Melvin, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, fellas. Appreciate you.
Hey, we say Wisconsin royalty. I mean, what you did, for Badgers, but a lot of people don't maybe know you were born in Kenosha, right? So you're used to battling the elements really your whole life, huh?
Yeah, I've been dealing with the snow, man. We used to have, back in high school, we used to do pickup games in the snow, man. It was fun.
The old Snow Bowl, you as a back, I would have to think bad weather probably represented a benefit for you because you're a track star as well. You're fast. You're 215 pounds, and then you're trying to tackle that situation in snow. It can't be easy.
I mean, once you're born in the snow, it's second nature playing in cold weather. When I went to college, I had a lot of homies that were from Florida, and it definitely took them some time to get used to it. They never even seen snow before, so. To me, back in high school, man, 30 degrees, I was like, it's a perfect day. Like, I'm like, yes,
nice mild afternoon.
Yeah, you tell that to a Florida boy. He's like, how do I get a Parker underneath my jersey?
They try to get out of there. They try to get out of there.
No, that plays into the advantage. That's into your wheelhouse. Also, what I love, Melvin, when I was watching you play, and of course, it's like, not only do you freaking handle the rock, but you're so dynamic out of the backfield catching the ball. I think that at times is understated when you're thinking about when we're talking about weather elements, especially snow games. If you are going to pass, it's going to be screen pass. It's going to be out to the flats. That's where it was your bread and butter, too. What's that like, though, when you're talking about, now the elements are, working against most players, and this is starting to lean into something that is your strength?
Well, it's just something that you have to work. I played in, I went from playing in really bad weather to going to the San Diego Chargers, LA Chargers.
Yeah.
And within 6 years, I played in like 3 cold games. You know what I'm saying? But it just comes down to what I used to do and how I used to pride myself. I used to work with the receivers, with the catching and things like that, to kind of just help my game. I never was, to their level. They did that every day. I had other stuff I had to work on. But in the offseason, I would work on stuff with them. But you just got to know, like, when it's rainy games or something like that, you got to look the ball in a second longer. You feel me? You got to take the initiative and just be conscious of that. And your coaches will tell you, but that's usually how you do. You got to be more focused on the ball than trying to catch it and get out the way.
Right. Before we leave that quickly, we have to point out, you broke the record in the NCAA.
What?
A preposterous more than 400 yards in a single game. Do you consider that game a snow game? Because we were kind of yelling at each other about it. It was flurries in the fourth quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it started, man. Fourth quarter, that's when it started up. I probably had 2 plays in the snow, though. It was It started flaking a little bit later, but
Yo, Melvin, be real with us. Did you still want the Rock in the fourth quarter? Because you're looking at that. I can't believe the next week somebody broke that record. I mean, it was astonishing.
I need 5.
Yeah.
You could have had 5.
It's like, look, I only played 3 quarters. Like, coach, give me the ball, right?
yeah. Well, so you guys remember the Texans player the running back that kicked the PAT, Dario Gumbawale. You guys remember that video?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's one of my close friends. He went to Wisconsin.
Okay.
That game was also his first touchdown as a Badger.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was like, my coach wanted me to. He was like, well, he didn't really want me to go in, but he kind of asked me, and I was like, nah, like let him rock. And he got his first touchdown that game. Now I give Coach a look because I had a crazy.
That's love. That's cool.
It's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
And speaking about it, I mean, it's a brotherhood when you play football, especially though when you're running backs and you're going through it. And let's jump in. I want to get your insight here, Melvin, because we got some games this week that will be impacted by weather possibly. We're going to get into the ROWI now. Remember, risk of weather impact. Mm-hmm. The Sunshine State ain't going to be shining too much. It's going to be wet and soggy. I think when you look at the Jaguars and you're looking at the Dolphins, right? Hard Rock, beautiful stadium now. But, I mean, you got some dynamic running backs. Etienne, A-Chain, Mostert. Does this play a factor? Ian, we lay into this. We got a medium because of thunderstorms.
Right.
What are you thinking?
Heat, humidity. As someone, obviously I have not taken part in one of these games, but I sat in the end zone living down in Tampa for a lot of these games, watching the Bucks. We'll talk about that one, too. These early season games are brutal because you're playing in a tropical atmosphere. And as these scattered storms fire up, it may end up being more of a problem at Raymond James than it is down in South Florida because they got at least that tiny little roof now.
Tiny little roof. I think the problem, though, for the Miami, it may not be the thunderstorms. Jaguars may be praying for the thunderstorms to cool it off because the thing with Miami, they expose the away sidelines.
Yes.
So they are absolutely cooking. Heat index expected to be around 107 to 110. So, Melvin, walk us through that, right? You were thriving in the snow. Then you go down to sunny San Diego, but I know you played ball in Florida, and then that heat and humidity, I mean, that's got to wear and tear on you after a while.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, the beautiful thing about that is they both from Florida, so they probably both get the same weather.
Way to level with us. All right.
Do we have that factored into the ROWI?
They're probably used to it. I mean, I know Etienne, he trains in Texas. So it's
True.
I mean, it's super hot there. I don't know. Raheem probably trains. I think he trains in Florida. So he's there year round, so he's used to it. So as far as the backs, I think it's something that they're used to already. Mm-hmm. But it is another level, being in that heat. And I heard, it's funny you guys said that. I definitely heard the Dolphins set those guys on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, it is an advantage, though. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. So it is an advantage, when the heat is on you and all that. But the thing about that is you know it. Just like you guys know it, I know it, they know it. Their coaches know it. So,
that's the point.
They're going to do something
That's
to prep
the point we want to make, though. With the ROWI, we're trying to get into the details.
Yeah.
This is conventional wisdom that we're talking about because, again, we haven't played in the NFL like that. Suppose a quick downpour comes through. Now, all of a sudden, the turf is wet. How much of an advantage or a disadvantage does that become, at least in the short term, for you trying to shake off a tackle or set a plant foot? Is it a huge deal, and how long does that really last?
For the backs, rainy games aren't really too bad, depending on, how it's just really the ball. As long as you can secure the ball, that's perfect. Right. But as far as defenders, it's really good because I know where I'm going, they don't. Yeah. So I can shake you and, you can lose your footing.
Yep.
I mean, but it also goes both ways when you're trying to turn up the field, you're catching a flat, you're trying to turn up, you lose your footing. That's happened to me a couple times in KC. So,
look, Melvin, see, you're versatile. So I wonder, for that type of scenario, right? You're talking about, hey, you can juke, you can, get them on their heels. Do you factor that in now? Because the footing's a little slippery, but you're also 6'1", 200 plus, and you can lay the wood. So it's like, does that matter, or is it just every given scenario, hey, I'm versatile enough, I'm just going to try to get as many yards as possible,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what the league does, what the equipment guys do. They know it's going to be a rainy game. They'll bring an extra pair of cleats, and usually the guys wear molded cleats. But if it's on turf, you pretty much good. You'll be good more than likely. But if it's a grass field, they bring in the ones where you have to twist them in, the old kind,
the old spikes. Yeah.
So they bring those in and they make them a little longer so you can get a little more grip. The equipment guys are next level now. These guys,
shout out.
Don't play around.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out, man. But it's not just Florida. We have other games and other weather patterns that really start to play some impacts on this.
I'm still thinking about what Melvin said. He said, I know where I'm going, they don't.
Yeah.
I feel that way about my weather forecasting. We got to talk about the debut.
Yeah.
Steve, this is the big one. We got Cowboys, Browns. There are going to be some weather impacts in the game. We'll talk about those. But we got the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Coming off the field, going up into the booth. Melvin, did you ever play against Brady? What are you thinking about his transition into the booth?
I mean, he knows football, man. He's been around freaking forever.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of guys happy that he's gone. Trust me. This guy, I mean, he knows football, man. He's the GOAT, man. Like I think he's the best football player ever. Until somebody surpasses him in rings, I don't see it happening. Maybe Mahomes. But
a ways to go.
He got a while to go. But I mean, the transition should be easy for him, man. I mean, come on now.
What do you think, Steve?
Look, I believe in the tape. I saw a week and a half ago on social media. He threw down a 240 bench, And it just shows
You
he's
ran
got the
down
hunger.
to the Fox gym. Steve's texting me all of a sudden asking if I'm trying to max on after watching Brady's
Look,
game.
Melvin, I don't know how you feel because we're gonna get into this later about Chubb squad. I just see this and I saw Brady bench and I was like, look, I got to see if I still got it in me. I went down there, threw down 245, 2 reps. I was like, all right, I still got it. But that just shows me Brady's hungry. Even if he's in the booth, he's coming, all right?
I was like, chill out, dog. Like, I have a 3-hour show.
He's a competitor. Hey, he's a competitor now. Hey, Brady's a competitor. I'm pretty sure if he's doing that, he wants to be the best to do it.
Let's talk about the impacts on that game before we get going, because we've got this front that sweeps through over the weekend, Steve. It's less about precipitation and more about wind coming right off of Lake Erie. It's not just that game. It's 2 games with some gusts up 25, 30 miles per hour. So arm strength is a thing here.
Arm strength becomes a big thing. The other game you're talking about is Arizona at Buffalo, right? So that's going to be another one Sunday afternoon. That one actually has a little more wind component to it, and because of the way the stadium is positioned and there's portions of the field that are exposed, that wind coming off of the lake actually could gust up to 20 to 30 miles per hour. So not only arm strength, but now we're starting to think about the kickers, right?
Kicking and throwing.
And we have to think about kickoffs now because of the new rule and everything. That's a small window for the kickers to land in, and when you're starting to get those gusts around 30 miles per hour, that plays a variable.
Do we have to debut snap judgment?
I think we got to. We got snap judgment, and Melvin, I want you to weigh in, of course, on this. Our snap judgment of the week, a big topic of the week, the new kickoff rule. What do you think?
Thumbs up, thumbs down on that.
We got to give it a couple more games. Man. We got to give it a little more time.
It seemed like they were out of sorts with it last night. Like, they didn't know what to do with it last night.
I think the preseason,
it's different because if you watch, so I was watching it yesterday. If you watch the old kickoff, whether they kick it through the end zone, guys run finished all the way through. Yesterday I was watching like the Ravens. Like some guys stopped, some guys was finishing. Everybody's a little unsure of like how to, just mentally it's just different. So we got to give it a couple more games. You guys got this fucking thing down packed though. God damn.
All right, let's go, bro. Thank you. All right, but
that's good because we have 70 less touchdowns in the
NFL. Right. I'm thinking about it. The new kickoff rule, what I struggle with is the fact, like you had said, that hesitancy, and I really worry that this puts in more onus, more kind of emphasis with the officials, right? Where the flags can be pulled in big moments, right? You want the players to decide the outcome of the game, decide most of what's going to happen out there. But with that moment of, okay, did they go too fast, right?
Yeah.
Did they wait too long?
You worried about the kickoff? There was like 46 illegal procedure flags.
Yes.
It's like, that's what we did not need more.
We didn't want that.
We did not need more. I think it's a good idea, though, because, of course, player safety is first and foremost. They decided the kickoff was a dangerous play, right? But it's also one of the most exciting plays in the game. So this is a way to at least try to keep it in, and maybe it's a touch safer. But Melvin, to your point, I think we got to just see how it plays out a little bit.
And I think too, like if we give it some time, I mean, these guys are these special team coaches they're geniuses now. These guys not just sitting here just doing anything. Within some time, there's gonna be some trick plays and a lot of stuff I can see happening with that. I mean, it's almost like an extended run play. I feel like more teams should put running backs back there because it's it's just vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, obviously you want to keep the fast guy there.
Getting into some other topics here with you, Melvin, we got another kind of lineup that we have. We go into, this is all about football, the weather impacts, how that impacts your fantasy, how that impacts your pocketbook, and getting into betting. So let's get into Bender's best bet because I think you can help me out. I have been getting clowned for weeks now because I got my comeback player of the year as Nick Chubb. I saw him squat 460 pounds. I think he has got a bionic knee.
Wasn't it like, I thought it was like,
it was north of that, but he was repping out 460.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something like.
And he was just throwing it around, but he was maxing out over 700. I don't think he has a real knee anymore, and I think he's ready. I know he's going to be sitting a little bit. What do you think, Melvin? Show some love to the running backs, by the way.
All right. Oh, I don't think that's a bad comeback player of the year. I mean, this guy's been hitting 1,000 yards without even playing, I think, a full season.
Right.
Been going. So I think him sitting out, I think he has to sit out the first 4 games.
Yeah, 4 to 5. They're just going to ease him back into this. And I think he's going to have some fresh legs. He's going to come out there, and I think he's going to show his impact on the team when he comes back, how crucial of a role he has. I'm just sick of just seeing the same. I just want to see somebody else besides a quarterback, right? I know the favorites, Aaron Rodgers, right? We're looking at that.
You know he's going to get it, but you know he's going to get it, though.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I'm trying to make it that it ain't that.
I told him that last week, Melvin. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's playing the whole season.
No.
If he stays healthy,
I mean,
he's
bro,
got a
if
squad.
he gets the when is the last time the Jets been in the playoffs?
True.
It was.
He gets the Jets in the playoffs.
It was shortly after that battle in the Coliseum when they filled it up with the water.
Yeah, I'm just hoping he goes on a darkness retreat after week 8. All right, that's it. But no, I can see Aaron Rodgers. That makes sense. My MVP this year, I'm going with Josh Allen. I think he's gonna turn around the Bills. I think they got a lot against them, right? They're thinking like, all right, is our wide receivers core solid enough? I think Josh Allen's going to show it, and then my rookie of the year.
It feels like you just hate the Jets, which I vibe
I
with
do.
as a Pats guy. But I'm sorry. What is the last one?
And the rookie of the year, Caleb Williams. He's got a perfect setup.
Yeah.
And they got a weak schedule. I think that's what I got locked in right now.
Okay. We got Bender's best bets. We got Ollie's over under. Some of maybe your biases were coming through there. Some of mine do too. I've got New England over 4.5 wins. I feel like that's a very disrespectful number. Put some respect on the franchise. Jacoby Brissett is a guy that can get it done, and Drake May has looked good. Pitt, 8.5. You got Mike Tomlin, 17 non-losing seasons in a row.
Okay.
8 and 9 would be a losing season, so I think he'll go at least 9 and 8 and keep that rolling. And then my old hood, my old stomping grounds, Tampa Bay, 7.5 in a division that stinks.
Yeah.
Baker, the playmaker, got his money. He's feeling good. They extended a bunch of key pieces. 5 division games, and you win 3 more, and you go over. I mean, I don't think that's a big ask. Melvin, any teams you're looking at as a sleeper this season?
Sleeper. I honestly think the Jets are going to win unless Pat.
Oh man, Melvin.
So you already know who my MVP is going to be, bro. I don't know. I just want him to come back and just go crazy. I'm a huge fan.
Hey, look at this, Melvin. I mean, we are rocking in Midtown Manhattan right now. Look, as much as I want to be against it, I would love the Jets.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because this city just changes.
You're about to get jumped outside the booth.
I know, right? I might not be on podcast number 2.
You gotta be careful now.
Yeah. But that's what you love, right? You love a fan base like that. You know what else we love? Ian and I love a lot of golf. We are golfers, and when we found out you not only do a little golf, you got a company that rocks with golf, and you look good doing it. Talk to us about Vibes Golf right now.
Yeah, man. We're a social club, man. Just trying to, just bring more people to the game. Get more people. It's a fun game, man. It's very hard.
Oh yeah, it is.
Make sure we say that. But it's an enjoyable game, man. It's peaceful. You got everyone deals with a lot of life stuff. Honestly, you're out there with some buddies, 3 to 4 hours, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, depending on how bad you are.
Oh yeah.
I mean. But it's a lot of time where you're just away from your phone and you just in the moment. And I think a lot of people miss that. And we just want to reflect that and have people enjoy the game that most people have been missing for years.
Yeah, man, outside and away from your phone. I do like the connection of golf and football, too. I just had my fantasy football draft this past weekend. Yeah. You're talking about pockets being lighter from betting. my buddy, Paulie Onions, who is a, air quotes, 14 handicap, led to us paying for the round of our other 2 buddies. So I'm calling into question if we can send a clip of this to the USGA. Paulie Onions has a fraudulent handicap.
Hey, one other thing we got to let you handle, Melvin, before you go. All right, we're split on this over here. Jersey or no jersey? You're going out on the town, right? You're going to be going to the bar, whatever. Are you rocking a jersey or you're not?
Steve has some problem with a grown man wearing a jersey.
Nah, man. Yeah, look. And the thing is that everybody's changing teams so often now. I ain't rocking nobody's jersey.
It's a loyalty thing?
Yeah.
Honestly, Coach Bielema used to he had a thing of jersey. He said, I feel weird wearing another man's name on the back.
Yes.
But I'm like, bro, I don't mind wearing a jersey. I wore Elway jerseys. To sit here and lie to you and say I wouldn't wear a jersey.
Okay.
They have to reach legendary
status. I like to wear the
status.
throwbacks. I really respect the Hall of Famers, and I mean, I respect those guys to, such a high level. And, I wear Giannis. I'm a Bucks fan. I represent the state. I'm going to wear a jersey.
It's respect.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear a jersey.
1-0 good, guys, baby. All season to go. What are it, 218 weeks, 272 games. Quickly, they want to say, I've owned 3 NFL jerseys in my entire life. Number 11, Drew Bledsoe.
Okay.
Number 12, Tom Brady. Number 12, Tom Brady as a Buck. That's the only non-Patriot. So, it's all love. It's respect, Steve. It is what it is.
Yo, much love to our first guest, week 1. I can't believe it. Melvin Gordon III. Thank you for joining us here on Storming the Field.
You're the man. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, man. Thank you guys, man. You guys got great energy, man. Appreciate you for having me.
Yo, hey, we're going to bring that energy to the links one day. We all got to link up, get on the course, man. I love it.
If you make it to the Northeast, we're golfing. It's a great week 1 and a great start to the podcast outside of Melvin Gordon III just steamrolling you with facts and reality.
Don't bring reality to this pod, all right? That's it. But we got some hot takes. We want to hear from you as well.
Yeah, we're just getting this thing rolling, right? There's this relationship between weather and sports and a whole bunch of mess in between where there's a lot of fun to be had. So we're excited about this moving forward. It's just an opportunity to talk about what we love.
Yeah, come find us out on social. It's just our names out there on social media. We also do hashtag Storm the Field, and we'll get into some of these topics, and we can drive it in. You can also listen to Storming the Field every Friday during the football season on FoxNewsPodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Hey, plus, you can get the latest on big game forecasts and all your weather news by checking us out on Fox Weather on your favorite TV device. We'll see you next time on Storming the Field.